Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be comparing Big Cartel versus Etsy. Which is the better e-commerce platform for you to start selling your handcrafted goods, whether you're an artist or a designer or someone who just wants to start selling their own products online? That's what we're going to be diving into in today's video, comparing Etsy and Big Cartel, and really which is the best platform. It really depends on you. We're going to be diving into the details right now. So taking a look at Big Cartel. So Big Cartel is a place where you can build an online store for artists and makers. That's who they're designed for, in order for you to build your own online store. So you would have your own entire website and online store. You can sell your work and run your creative business. That's who they are designed for. And Etsy really is designed for a lot of the same type of people, right? People that are crafty, they make their own products. That is the essence of really both platforms, both Big Cartel and Etsy. We're also going to be diving into the pricing here in a second. So Etsy really is for all types of handcrafted products, no matter the category. Tons and tons of products available in Etsy, and Etsy is more of a marketplace, similar to maybe an eBay or an Amazon, whereas Big Cartel, you're building your own website for your brand and your business, and it is its own entity within itself. So, it's great for people that are already have a following and can promote things on social media, or depending on how your marketing plan is. Whereas Etsy is more of a marketplace. So you're listing it. It's maybe a little bit easier for people who don't know who you are to find your types of products, because you could rank in like Etsy SEO. You get promoted through their different product categories and everything. So maybe it's a little bit easier for people to find your products on Etsy. Now, diving into the pricing, because I know a lot of you guys are probably curious, well, what is the pricing? So both Big Cartel and Etsy, they do each have free options to start selling your products. Now, I say free because there are still a little bit of fees involved, but free as in there's no monthly charges to get started with selling your products, which is really, really cool, that both platforms offer a fully free option as far as when it comes to monthly fees. Now, we're not going to be diving into the specifics of each of the plans, but with Big Cartel, you have Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. On their Gold plan, you can list up to 5 products for free, and each of the different plans, depending on how many products you have to sell, you got 5 products, 50 products, or 500 products. That's how the monthly fees break down, as well as a few extra options as well. But it's really nice that Big Cartel has this free plan in order for you to just start selling some products online and build your own little basic online store. Now, as comparison to with Etsy, you can start selling your products today as well on their free plan, although they do have a 20-cent listing fee. Of course, all of the fees and pricing are accurate as of the making of today's video. Those are all subject to change, of course. So, make sure to follow along and read the fine print as well for yourself, of course. So as you can see here, there is a transaction fee as well as a payment processing fee. So you're going to have the payment processing fees on really both platforms. But Etsy does also charge the listing fee as well as a transaction fee, because they kind of help sell your products a little bit more, right? They also do have a 15% offsite ads fee, but you only pay a fee for this offsite ads fee when you make a sale. So, they help you get sales, then you pay them a percent back for getting that sale. So not really have to worry about that fee. But as far as transaction fees and payment processing, that is something else to consider with the Etsy platform when you're listing your products, with the listing fees as well. So that is something to consider. They do also have a standard versus plus plan. So those are the two different plans. You have your free plan and your plus plan. So the plus plan is at $10 a month. The free plan standard, there's no additional monthly charge, but the standard fees do apply to all packages. In Etsy Plus, you can, set up your own website address and, market your store a little bit more, tell shoppers when items are back in stock. You can also customize your shop a little bit more. So Etsy, that is, what you get with their plus plan as well. So they both have free plans. Both are quite affordable options as far as e-commerce and building out like a little online store for people to buy your products through. Both are great options, and they do have good budget-friendly, flexible, and affordable options, both of them. Now, taking a look at a couple of examples and diving into the specifics, comparisons between the two platforms, Big Cartel really is a place where you can build your own little pocket of the internet, your own website, to sell your handcrafted products or whatever products you want to sell. That, of course, is up to you. This is just an example store here. As you can see, they're like little fish or like a little artistic rendition of different things. So that's what, maybe a typical big cartel store looks like. Then compared to an Etsy listing, as you can see here, looks a lot like any other online store where Etsy has, basically they list your product, you can add your images and whatnot as well. And Etsy is more of a marketplace, right? So one other thing to consider with Etsy as well in comparison to a big cartel is Etsy does limit your products, to fit within their niche categories. So that is one thing with Etsy is you do kind of need to sell certain types of handmade goods, vintage or craft supplies, whereas big cartel, you pretty much sell anything that you want within reason. Now, of course, they're mainly designed for artists and makers as well. But if, depending on what you want to sell, you can pretty much sell whatever you want on Big Cartel. Whereas Etsy, you're a little bit more beholden to their certain categories and niche offerings that, they want to sell within the Etsy platform and ecosystem, within their categories and within their customer base. Because at the end of the day, you are building Etsy's customer base. That is one other thing to consider as well with Etsy is, ultimately you're building Etsy's customers. You don't get access to their emails. You don't control the customer data. Whereas with a platform like Big Cartel, you do actually own the customer data because it is your own online store. You can pretty much do whatever you want, remarket to them, and you have more freedom and flexibility there. Whereas with Etsy, you're building Etsy as a business and as a platform. And to go with that, along with that as well, something really important to consider that many of you may not be aware, if you ever plan to sell your business in the future, with Etsy, can I transfer my Etsy account to someone else? So no, you can't transfer your Etsy account to someone else. If you have sold the business you run on Etsy to someone else, you can't transfer your Etsy account to the new owner. Instead, the new owner must open a new Etsy account and shop. We recognize that it's not uncommon for a small business owner to buy or sell a business. However, for security reasons and legal requirements, account transfers are not permitted on Etsy, as outlined in our terms of use. So that is a really big con to consider with Etsy if you were to ever sell your business or plan to sell your business. That's a major con that you can't transfer the account because it's against their terms of use. So that is one big point for Big Cartel is, you can buy, sell, do whatever you want with your own online store. Similar with a Shopify, for example, it's your own online store. If you're familiar with that, then there you go. But with Etsy, it's still the Etsy platform, and you can't do that. So that's a major con. Now, if you never were planning to sell your business ever, maybe this is just a side hustle for you to sell some products online, then it's not really a big deal, especially if you're the only person, handcrafting those products and you never really had any intentions of selling the business, then it doesn't really matter to you and you could just continue to use Etsy. In that case, it's probably better for you to use Etsy just because it's probably easier for people to find your products through Etsy SEO, through their remarketing campaigns and all that. Like building out a little Etsy business makes a ton of sense if you never were planning to grow or scale the business beyond yourself, or if you were never planning to sell the business anyway, then it's not really a big deal for you. So, that's something to consider there if you were thinking about maybe I want to build my own brand and build my own store, then you could do that on Big Cartel, or, and it's more of a sellable asset versus something like Etsy where, you're a little bit more limited in that regard, of course. But if you never plan to, then it doesn't matter. So then, but it's just, I really wanted to mention that and make that that because it's very important if you were planning to do that. So guys, that's really the biggest differences between Big Cartel and Etsy as a platform. Both are really great options for selling your products online. It's really up to you to decide, which platform really makes the most sense for you. You could always sell maybe on both, use Etsy as an additional sales channel, but build your primary business on Big Cartel or a Shopify or something, for example. It's really just up to you. So guys, that is Big Cartel versus Etsy. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.